Welcome to the Transform My Dance Studio podcast, powered by the Dance Studio Owners Association. We are thrilled to be welcoming back Jodi Schilling and Angela Manella Hoffman as our guest hosts in a brand new season of Elevate Your Studio. This very special series will give you an inside look into how Jodi and Angela have grown their dance studios as they share their tips on building a thriving business while getting their life back. Jodi and Angela are the owners of Releve Studios in California and More Than Dance in Minnesota. Now, let's get on with the show. Elevate Your Studio with Jodi and Angela.
Welcome to Elevate Your Studio. I'm Angela.
And I am Jodi.
And we are helping you find the joy in studio ownership. What are we talking about today, Jodi?
It's exciting, actually. It is how to make people love your studio in 2 minutes or less.
Sort of like speed dating for studios.
Yeah, exactly. First impressions really do count, though. They really do.
Yeah, well, and you know, a lot of people who are trying to find different studios, it only takes a few seconds for them to get the vibe that they like the studio or they don't. What you can do to make it better for you.
Yeah, and they even get a feeling about what your studio is about before they even walk into your studio because they're looking at your social media.
Absolutely.
And your website. Yeah.
Yeah, and what the things that are on the website, what are some things, Jodi, that you notice? I notice if I see like bad technique, you know how you see some of those like point shoes from China or some other place and the pictures just have horrible technique. That's something I notice right away if I'm looking at any kind of picture at a studio, or as a parent, that's something I would be looking at.
I'm also drawn to just like the design. Like, does it look like the site was professionally made, or is it just kind of thrown together with weird color choices and like 30 different fonts and are the photos well lit? And like those things matter because it shows whether or not you're a professional studio or just starting out and trying to make it work.
Absolutely. And even the type of people that you photograph or have in your website, if it's just, you know, the above 16-year-old perfect competition dancers, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. If it's all just little babies, that's another thing. You know, you need to have different shapes and sizes and things like that, I think.
Yes. I really make an effort to showcase the kids that are actually at my studio, the whole range and diversity of everybody, because our studio is so diverse. We reflect that in our teachers and we reflect that in our photos of our students because I think it's important.
Oh, absolutely. And I think using a stock photo just doesn't do you justice. I mean, there's some great ones, but like use your own kids. Even if you're just starting out with a studio. I remember when I started out, I didn't even have a studio space, but I got like a ballet bar and I had some kids and we set up photo shoots and just, you know, you got to give people something that's you.
Exactly. So the customer walks in. They walk in the door. What's the first thing they see? The clock starts. We've got 2 minutes. What's the first thing they see?
The first thing they see is that lobby and see what the cleanliness is of it, I think.
Also, like, where am I going? Who do I talk to? Like, is it clear? What's the first step?
Yeah, we have a massive front desk at our studio, like a hotel lobby desk that I had custom made, which is really fun. But so it's like, bam, right away you walk in and you see our logo, see the desk, people know where to go. But I think too, like if you see everybody sitting around like being sad, and that's not a good impression either.
No, you know, you have to hire like the sweetest, smartest, most friendly front desk person ever. So absolutely. I know a lot of times studio owners will scrimp on the front desk person and maybe just use a student or someone's mom or, you know, I know what that is like, but it makes all the difference if you have someone at the desk that is really good at their job and everyone loves them.
Absolutely. And can take anyone in and see what their, understand their needs so that they can communicate with them directly. And sometimes I just don't think high school students can always do that. It's not just about having somebody fill the seat. It's actually should be your best salesperson right there.
Yeah. So you start with body language, even Are they standing? Because I think standing, at least when someone walks in the door, you look present, or at least sitting up straight and displaying like an openness and like leaning in towards the person, like you're interested in meeting them.
And not like waiting for them to ask you questions. The front desk person needs to lead in with questions, or even I train my front desk person. So if like the little dancer is there, they'll say like, "Oh, hi, you must love to do this," and then speak with the parents. So I think wherever you're speaking, whoever you're speaking to, find that audience and smiles. It's amazing how many people don't smile. Isn't it?
That is actually on my job description for a front desk, is they have to smile when they talk, when they answer the phone. Because when you answer the phone and you say, okay, I'm not going to smile right now. I'm not going to smile. It's hard to do, but I'm not going to smile. All right. Hi, this is Releve Studios. How can I help you? Or, hi, this is Releve Studios. How can I help you? You can't tell if I'm smiling or not.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the frontline person, the person who's right there at that desk.
Exactly.
And also, if behind the desk looks cluttered and papers everywhere, people pick up on that too. I think often as studio owners, we're so concerned about inside the studio and how that is so for our dancers that we forget how the studio is for the parents.
Yeah. Do we look organized? Do we look efficient?
Right. Is there a changing station for a diaper? Things like that. Like, not just think about the dancers, think about the whole family and how that makes an impression on them too.
So when a customer walks up to the desk, I always tell my admin that no matter what they're doing, they stop doing it and they look up and they smile and they make eye contact.
Perfect. Just like a first date.
Can you, I have gone to places and been so annoyed standing at the counter, and the person just keeps doing the thing that they're doing, which is like, it's not important. Like, do you want to make the sale, or do you want to finish your whatever you're doing? Right.
Well, even if you're on the phone, even if your front desk person is on the phone and someone walks in, they should acknowledge the person that walks in and, give them a hand signal.
One moment, I'll be right there. And
right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and you can tell when you go to other places where customer service is not good. Can't you? Don't you find yourself in every kind of business?
Yes.
Seeing how it all works, and it's fascinating because you can tell when you have bad customer service and the person doesn't care. And you don't want anybody like that in your studio.
Yes. No, you do not. And then the last element to the smile has to be as a sincerity. It can't just be super fake, cheesy, happy. Right. It has to be genuine.
Right.
That person has to really, really like people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It reminds me of when I used to do a lot of commercial auditions, and I'd always walk into the room with I was in the middle of a laugh, hi. It just, But there's little things you can do if you just need to get yourself get your front desk staff into the mode. It's hard. We're dealing with a lot of stuff, but this is your job. You have to make that good impression.
Have you ever heard of people mirroring mannerisms?
Yes. Where I first heard about it was on The Office. They were
Actually, the first time I noticed was on a date in New York City, and I was sitting at the bar, and the guy kept doing everything I was doing. Every movement I made, he would do it too. And afterwards, I said to my friend, I was like, it's so weird. This guy kept doing everything I did. And he was like, that's because he liked you. So
it makes sense.
It makes you feel comfortable. So if someone's smiling, you're going to smile. Or if they lean in, you're going to lean in. It's human nature, right?
Absolutely.
They match tones. They match breathing patterns.
But if they're standing there with their arms crossed, don't do that. I mean, like make sure it's something that is open, an open type of.
Right. The more open you are, the more open they'll be. They'll relax into your energy.
Absolutely. And I heard this once from a waitress that I knew that made really good money on tips. And this may not be something right now, but if you can physically make contact with somebody, whether it's touching their arm or their shoulder, that sparks an instant connection too. And I know
that would turn me off. If someone touched me, oh my gosh, I would be like, why did you just touch me?
Well, it has to be in like a very yes. Okay.
Well, I think there's different kinds of people. So you have to really know how to read them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like it's okay if you touch me, Angela. I don't want just everyone to touch me.
No, and it wouldn't be, it'd be the type of thing where you have to read people. You're not just going to go up and do it. But if you find the opportunity that really does make a connection, there's something about the neurons or something in our bodies yeah.
I think a lot of people at the front desk can be afraid of that position, like of making the sale. And I think a lot of the positive, what am I trying to say? Like the more open they are to the possibility of making a sale instead of closed-minded, like this is going to be really hard.
Right.
It makes a difference. Like it's like that positive and negative energy. Like if you're positive and optimistic that you can do it and it's going to be fun, then it will be. Or if you go into work and you're like, this is going to suck. I gotta have to make these people sign up. It's going to be
our job as the business owner to give all of our staff those tools so that they know, this person doesn't quite react to this. So what's another thing I can do? We need to give them those tools that can help prepare them so that it's not just on the fly. Like they have in their back pocket, this type of person, I know how to speak this way. And you have great everything, but you have a great example of this.
Oh, I do. Well, we have heard speakers recently who are they talk about asking open-ended questions, like a reporter instead of closed questions. Like you don't want to ask a yes or no question, like that's how they answer. You want to ask like a reporter, like, how are you feeling today?
So Jodi, let's role play here. You be the open asking person and I'll be the close. I'll answer you how somebody would answer you if you ask closed questions.
Okay. So are you going to be the customer for me and I'll ask open-ended questions?
No, I'll be the customer and you just ask me close-ended questions.
Oh, close-ended. Okay.
See how far this conversation goes.
Okay. Hi, would you like to try a class today?
Maybe.
Okay. What do you like dancing?
Yeah.
Great. So we have a schedule here and there are a lot of possibilities on the schedule. Does Mondays work for you?
No.
Okay. How about Tuesdays?
No.
How about Wednesdays?
No, but you can see how so do you want to ask me some open-ended questions?
Sure, let's try it. Okay.
See how much better that will be?
Okay. Hi there. What's your name?
My name's Angela.
Hi, Angela. How are you doing today?
Doing great, thanks.
What made today so great?
That I woke up and it was sunny outside.
Oh, the weather makes all the difference. So you're here and you're interested in dance classes. What kind of dance classes would you like?
Well, I like all different kinds. Ballet, tap, jazz.
When you wake up in the morning and it's sunny,
yeah,
what kind of energy do you feel you'd like to dance with?
Let me just say I feel in my head the song Walking on Sunshine.
Let's try a jazz class to start.
And there you go. Bam! See? You got the information. Yes.
Yeah. So it's getting them talking. It's getting them to listen. It's making them feel like they are the most important thing in the world to you, and you're just another human being, and it's
Right.
a good day.
Absolutely.
You got to find what matters to them.
Yes.
You like sunshine.
I love sunshine and upbeat music.
Yes. So people perceive the world in different like patterns and wavelengths. Like, when we teach kids that there are visual learners, there's
Right.
people who are auditory and kinesthetic, and then there's like the intuitive people. And
Yeah, absolutely.
when people walk in to the studio and they start with something like, I saw your sign and it drew me into the studio, you automatically know they said the word see, so they're visual. They're going to be very much into what it looks like in the studio, what's happening. Someone might say something like, that sounds familiar, or I hear what you're saying. They're going to be more auditory, right?
Sure.
So they're going to be more about like the sounds in the studio and things like that. And then, I mean, you can do this with everything, like with kinesthetic, those kind of people say, that really touched me, or
And I think
I feel you.
Yeah. And I think it's a great idea to write out these different types and what might be some key things that they might say.
Yeah.
Or some expressions. And then you have that in your back pocket. It's not like you're just going in there and improving.
Yeah. And if they don't talk, like, I'm so weird. I'm really into psychology.
Oh, I know. I love it.
If they don't talk, look at their eyes, because if they look up, they're visual. If they look left or right, they're kinesthetic. They like touch. If they look down before they answer a question, they're more intuitive. They lead by the heart.
That is
awesome. Fascinating, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow. That's gold there, Jodi. That is gold. I'm like, okay, now how do I?
Where are they looking? And what do I do?
This is good information for a first date too. I'm just saying, you know,
works for dating as well.
Studio ownership, pretty much the same thing.
So the customers, you're going to have 4 different kinds.
Okay.
Typically. And sometimes they're like a hybrid, right? There is a wonderful author. Her name is Cherry Tree.
Okay.
Great name.
Yeah.
Cherry with an I, Tree. And she wrote a book called Why They Buy. And
it's a fascinating book.
I read it this summer, and it blew me away. So she has this thing called bank code.
Okay.
And it's cool how she does it. It's called bank code. And it's because, you bring money into the bank or whatever. But it's like an acronym. So there's 4 customer types. The first one is a blueprint. So this is like, the person who is just going to walk in and check it out. They don't really like to take risks. They're not like a risk taker, but they're very attracted to systems and procedures and rules, and they like clear communication.
So that person, you need to make sure that you explain to them how your systems and
exactly.
That's so cool.
And if you listen really carefully and you watch them, you're gonna see where they light up when you first start talking to them. So let me share the next 3. So then you have the action type. So you've got for bank, you've got B for blueprint, A for action. So the action takers this is me. This is who I am. They make really quick decisions. They've decided they were going to buy or not buy before they even walked into the studio. They're no nonsense. They want to see a path to success. So usually they want to see that their child is going to improve quickly.
Yeah.
That's where you have a path to success document, don't you?
I do. I have a card that shows our classes, and it's almost like a little storyboard or game. You go from this class to this class to this class, like a visual, because I'm visual.
Yeah. Well, yes, you are. Yeah. So that person would be like, oh, great. Like, I see that if I enroll my child in the Tiny Tots or whatever your first class is, the next step is going to be this class. And then from there, they can do 2 routes to either this or that. And they like to see the growth. They also um, like evaluations,
Okay.
class leveling and things like that. Like, oh, they're going to start in level 1 and then they'll go to 2 and it takes about 2 or 3 years. And they like that.
That's great.
Isn't that interesting? Okay. So we've got blueprint and action. The N is nurture.
I think that's what
I think that's you too.
I think that we figured this out. Okay.
I think you're an N. So N is a nurturer. And these are the people who are after the warm fuzzies. They like community. They like events and fun things for their kids.
Sure.
So I definitely think that's you because you excel at that in your studio.
Yeah, no, those are things that we do a lot.
Yeah. And so the K for the bank, K is knowledge. This is the customer who they want to see all the paperwork. They want to see the class prices. They want to see the entire schedule. They want all the brochures and they want
the numbers.
They want to feel very informed. My husband is a knowledge person. He will not buy something until he's researched that thing plus 4 others and done side-by-side comparisons. It's really annoying.
No, but this bank system, Jodi, is so wonderful. I mean,
it's so cool.
How ingenious to categorize people into this way. In everything is positive. Each letter is positive. There's good.
Right. It's just how they think. It's just how they're wired, and it's really cool to know. Oh, Susie's mom, she's probably blueprint because she is a police officer. And like you can also guess by their occupation, like
that makes sense.
What they are. Because in LA, we've got lots of producers. They're almost always action. Almost always. So it's cool.
The nice thing too is once you understand this, you can in like your notes on your studio software system, put in B or K or whatever letter they are so that anybody that's working at the front desk kind of understands a little bit better how to speak to them and relate to them. And when they have questions, you know which way to direct it. I think it's brilliant.
You know how to email them. Like for me, an action person, do not send me a really long, touchy-feely email. I just want the facts. Just tell me what's going on in bullet points. That's good. But I have customers that I have to nurture because they want to feel a part of the community and I have to use certain wording. And so the real trick is to kind of to figure out how to do it all because you don't know what they are like in that first 30 seconds. You kind of have to use phrasing that like attracts everybody.
Okay. So do you send 4 different emails?
I don't. I have one email that's attractive to all 4 types.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I always look at my emails and I'm like, okay, would an action taker read this? How would the nurturer feel comforted by this? Is the knowledge person going to get enough information? And is who's left? The blueprint, are they going to see like that there's a system? Like, are they going to see what's next? So,
Do you have any examples of like some words you would use?
Yeah, I have to like have a concept. Like what email am I going to write? Let's see.
So you're going to write an email about the start of the new season amidst COVID.
Okay. Attention. Okay. Exciting news. So you've got attention. It's like action. Yep. Exciting news. That's going to be your nurture. We have important information to share about COVID-19. So important is going to go towards the blueprint because they're going to tune in and go like, okay, there's a plan. We have important information to share. That's nurture. They love the sharing about COVID-19.
Too, though, wouldn't the information go to knowledge too?
Yeah, some of them are crossover. Yeah,
because in the first 2 sentences, you've already hit
all those people. And I just try to keep the emails short and sweet. Like, I'm not a copywriter, and like, but I'll just like read through it and be like, okay, did I touch on all these customers? Are they going to feel like, yeah.
See, Jodi, I know I love you, but now I know your sneaky tricks.
I am. Oh, guys, wait until I tell you.
You figured me out way long ago.
Here's my best trick, though. Oh, this is so off topic, though. I know how to make a teacher that is not working out excuse themselves from the studio so that I don't have to fire them.
Whoa.
And do it like in a day. It's so manipulative. It's so, I just did it last week. It's so bad.
Because I kind of want to know.
This is off topic, Angela.
Oh, okay. We can save it for next time.
Well, I'll give you the situation. It's for everyone's good, right? Yeah. So if there's a teacher and they're not working out, you have a one-on-one with them and you get them talking.
Right.
And you just keep getting them talking, and you can steer it to where you lead them to say what you want them to say. Like, this is working out. Like, okay, so this teacher got like, he was promoted at his other job, like, which is in retail, and he just wasn't having time to get his Zooms and videos to me, and I was getting really frustrated. And so we had a one-on-one, and I'm like, hey, congratulations on your promotion. It must be exhausting trying to keep up with all of your duties. But also how exciting that you were promoted into this key role at the other company. Let him talk.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about all of this? I'm really tired, and I feel like I'm letting you down, and I can't juggle all of this. Well, it's not great to go through a day feeling like you're letting people down and juggling, and like, I want you to know that I support whatever decision you come up with, because I don't want you to feel overburdened, and I don't want you to come into the studio and not love what you're doing. Like, teaching should bring you joy. It shouldn't be a hassle, right? And he's like, yeah. So about 5 more minutes, he's like, Jodi, teaching should feel like a joy. It shouldn't feel like a hassle. I think it might be best if I step aside. And I say, well, why don't you just sub for us? And then you get to see the teachers and the students, and you're still involved in the studio, but like, it's on your terms. You guys, it's brilliant. Like, just let them talk and they'll come to the conclusion.
Yeah, because that's kind of how I am. Like, I have to talk things out. And when I talk it out, then it drives my husband a little nuts, but that's how I have to process it. So that's fantastic.
My husband says I'm the most manipulative person he's ever met.
Sweetest person ever, but maybe I've just been tricked all this time.
He goes, I even know when you're manipulating me. I even know your tactics, and I fall for it.
Great actress. That's right. Good. So I think, we really just kind of talked about the front desk and our front people. And maybe another time we can talk a little bit more about the innards of the studio and what can make that make it sell for you in under 2 minutes. But I think this was so golden. Thank you, Jodi.
Oh, no, you're welcome. I mean, that's the first 2 minutes, right? Like, they're sold. They're sold. Yeah. If you do all those things, you're sold. You've sold the class.
Take a look at your own studio and think about and kind of write down what is the gap in who's at the front desk or how they approach your customers, things like that. And then start to work out a plan.
It actually it's kind of fun when you like see the gaps and you like try to like fix it. And it's really fun when you start to see results because of the little tweaks you make in your first impressions.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jodi. This was awesome.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time. Please let us know how you have changed your front desk system to making it more open for your family.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Elevate Your Studio on the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. You can learn more about Jodi and Angela plus the behind-the-scenes stories from 19 other successful dance studio owners from around the globe in our brand new book, Dance Studio Secrets: 65 Ways to Build a Thriving Studio, is now available on Kindle and paperback from Amazon.com. See you next week for a new episode with our special guest hosts.